So let's start it. My name is Adam Walkowski. It's difficult to define, interactive video engineer or technology architect, something like that. It's my Paul, my colleague.
My name is Łukasz Gutowski. Everybody calls me Gustav, even my mom. This is my first speech from high school in English, so don't fool me with eggs or tomatoes, okay? I'm a screenwriter and storyteller. This is my function.
Gustav specializes currently in interactive story development. We want to told you about our interactive video, our interactive film titled Sweet Dreams. First of all, about us. We, for I think 2 years, creating and developing interactive videos. We have created our own technology called Deligic. Deligic is a platform for interactive video creators, web-based editor of interactions. We also built several players for different platforms. And what we know currently about interactive video development is that it's the best and the most important thing in the interactive video development, especially feature films, is interactive story development. The story is the whole thing. And as we know, the good films, I mean really good films, based on really good scenarios. And the same thing is in the interactive films world. So we consider what is the really good interactive story, or non-linear story, as we call it. The Sweet Dreams is a story of Jack, yeah? So
yeah. He's a brilliant investigator, troublemaker too. He come back to Budapest to solve death of his fiancée. Sorry, I'm so stressed
he used lucid dreaming, yes?
He takes lucid dream technique to reconstruct of crime scenes.
Yeah. So the whole thing is the story of the guy who trained lucid dreaming techniques and use it to solving criminal cases. And he discovered the gate to other world. And that other world he called frontier space. And the frontier space is the place where creatures that he called body thieves lives. And the problem is that body thieves can take over bodies of sleeping people. And of course, it is correlated with criminal cases he are solving. So another thing about this story is we want to tell you all draft of the story, but the point is to how we want to make it possible to do interactive video, interactive story that don't disrupt immersion. What we know currently about creating interactive videos, and especially feature films that have interactions, is that each interaction, each point of interaction, decisional moment, as I called, destroy whole immersion of the viewer. And that is the main problem we know, and we know from filmmakers. Also, we cooperated with Sławomir Idziak. He is a person who created, I think, a few dozen of movies. And the problem is to think over the solution that will be natural and intuitive for viewer, intuitive way to interact with the movie. Why I told all that? Because in Sweet Dreams we divide whole story into 2 parts. One part of this, one group of scenes are take place in the real world. And that parts of whole story are passive for the viewer. The viewer only can make some decision in dialogues with other characters, but that dialogues and exploration interactions, as I call it, don't change the story and don't influence the ending. And other parts of the story takes place in his dreams. And in his dreams, we can decide about his subconscious, his psycho, and after that interactions, we return to real world scenes and observe how we shape this character, because each interaction in his dreams shape this character. So we can, in very different ways, make some connection between viewer, I think participant in interactive feature film, and the character. It's very different from classical. Classical. It's similar to computer games, of course. And last very important thing is that there is no one word, but there is passive active sinusoid. Is that deviation into passive scenes of real world and dynamic or psychological scenes in dreaming. Okay. Last important thing. There is a real world. There is other world, frontier space, and between these worlds are lucid dreaming. Jack discovers other worlds and other persons who experience lucid dreaming, and that that creatures. In short, in our opinion, we consider similar cases. For example, criminal series, because we have criminal concept for criminal story about guy who use lucid dreaming to solve criminal cases. And in your opinion, Gustav, what is the main reason people watch such series?
There's a need to cross over, there's a need to criminal and with element of mysticism. And this is a good example. True Detective. We have a very good story with a great background of the heroes, and this is a criminal story, brutal story, but we always have this tension that our hero have hallucination. So even in the end, when we discovered who killed and why, this is something that we, after the seance, get the climate that maybe it's a devil, maybe it's our demons, something like that.
So we consider also in our story mystical part or mystical aspects, and we want to match criminal stories with mystical stories. It's all about story, of course. Another thing is character creation or hero creation, because in computer games, and it's in cinema also, we create our hero, our character that corresponds to our decisions, because we made some decisions in whole story that shape this character. And last thing is that in computer games there are very good examples that works. I mean, it works because all that examples are trilogies. And that are examples of complex but very interesting interactive stories. And what we propose is technology to create something like that, some interactive story with many endings in filmmaking world. We try, of course, to create something like that, but based on film production. Okay, what's next? So I want to tell very short what is interactive dramaturgy. And in our case, in our software, there is a lot of some kinds of interactions. Some interactions are very simple, and it's only choosing the way, for example, explore some place. It's very exploring interactions. Another dialogue interactions, as I said. Another of our concepts is something called Manowicz loops. Manowicz loop is the circular scene. It's scene that walking in circle. And in this circle, for example, the main character walking around some place, and we can, for example, find, it's Manowicz loop. So he walking around some place, and it's very big arrows here, but there is no need to create such big arrows. He walking around a criminal place, and some murder was and he, for example, find some items, find some clues, maybe talk with somebody who is hiding somewhere. So if he gets some information or finds something, several scenes after that, it for example pushes story to another direction. So it's interaction on the topological, as I said, level. Another thing is arcade interactions. For example, fighting scenes, when the viewer have only few seconds, only a short period of time to make decision or do interaction or not. Avoiding interaction is also a decision. Yes, avoiding interaction is also a decision and pushes forward story in other direction. And the last thing I want to say about the project and whole concept to create such videos, because it's of course a pre-visualization, yes, it's concept of the story and concept of interactive film structure. Another thing we propose and we can provide is, as I call it, audience behaviors analytics. What it is? Our player can, in real time, measure what viewers do, how they decide, how fast or slow they react on the movie. So we can collect all the data about viewers and make some analytics around it. So what we propose is canonical plots model. Each arrow represent one ending of the story. Each scene and each decision in the story push forward current scene to one of these directions, eventually to one of the endings. And in that model, we propose the pilot episode of the whole story. It's our editor of interactions. It's structure of the interactive story. So we propose pilot episode in this canonical model with many endings. We want to gather information about users, viewers, participants' decisions and reactions. And after that, after analytics, we can propose them, I think, better match to expectations of the viewers next episode or episodes or whole movie, whole full-length movie. So it's our proposition also for another interactive projects, such pilot with analytics that can provide us very, in my opinion, after doing some short films, short interactive films, because we have done, I think, several or something like that, maybe 10 short interactive movies. And this year we will also cooperate with Sławomir Idziak, where we created a GDI group, Interactive Dramaturgy group, and we will create this year 3 projects. It's little commercial. One project will be strictly fabular project. Another is project created only using video panoramas. So it's first-person movie. Okay, and another is Oculus Rift project because we want to create this crime scenes and crime places in the movie as first-person scenes. So that Jack, the detective, can look around the scene and find some clues, for example, or not. If he can't find the clue, the story goes another way. So from us, it's I think it's whole thing, as we want to say to you, and if I hope you have some questions, we will answer. Thank you. Mm-hmm.
I'll take yours, okay. First of all, it looks for me like the old game Myst coming to the movies. I would like to know something about, you talked about the player, which gives you like certain advantages of like creating, like collecting data of the user and user behavior. That means in which environment are you playing? In the meaning like it's browser based, it's like it's app based. Where are you gonna?
That's what our software consists in that moment. The server in the cloud, which collects all data, and several players for different platforms. One player is for browsers, main browsers, another players for Android devices, iOS devices, Windows Phone devices, another player for video panoramas, also in the web, and another player for Oculus Rift device.
Okay.
And we consider a player for smart TV devices also.
Okay.
And all the data is gathered in the server.
Yeah.
So we have no offline solution currently.
If you, for example, look into a solution, it's coming from Germany, it's called navigo.com. What they do is like it's a storyboard creation for game companies. I think that might be like an ideal scenario for the EAs of this world, like to come from some mixture of moving pictures, like a feature film connected to the interactive part of like going into the gamification. I think what you line out very well is that you thought about like addressing different audiences from gaming to movie to so very cross-platform. And I think that the gaming industry might be a big supporter of that.
It's also a problem. It is game or it is a film. I think it's very good game for mobile devices. I have in my hand mobile device. I can click. I can tell use my voice to communicate with the character. It's very simple for us. It's very simple on mobile devices. So I think it can be something. It's something between movies and games, but in my opinion, the best channel is mobile channel because on mobile devices.
Definitely. Yeah. But I think you have like a huge audience, like crazy big audience, but from gaming to movies.
Yes, exactly. It's for gamers also. So we consider gamers in the same scope as film watchers.
I think the approach is very original, so thank you for the presentation. Very well done. Just one question. I mean, which kind of development do you have in mind? I mean, which is the starting point? I mean, at what point of development you are now, and what are the next steps in your mind?
Which stage?
Yeah, exactly.
State. Okay. I think it's development state in meaning of film production, not software production. So we have scenario in some we have not finished scenario. We have platform. We have ontological base for that frontier space, characters crossing stories, because there is few characters and that they stories crossing each other. So I think it's currently to fulfill the question. Currently we want to finish that stage, and we are looking for co-producer for that pilot episode, not for whole structure of the story, only for pilot episode.
Can you mention like what kind of budget that means?
What about budget?
Numbers.
Yes and no.
Numbers,
for pilot episode.
Yeah.
Pilot.
What's your estimation?
We consider something about $100,000, something about, because there is a need for hard post-production, special effects, something like that.
Guys, nice job, really. I enjoy it. You put a lot of effort on development, what I think it's good direction. Did you think about some standardization? I mean, could you, or do you plan to put some standards in this way, how to develop interactive platforms? Or what's more important currently for you, the platform itself or the content?
In my opinion.
Yeah.
Currently,
for you.
For me,
Yeah.
for me. Yes, we try to gather all that knowledge or know-how we are develop all day by day, from 2 years, as I said. Really, it's few more years. I think that project is proof that content is more important than technology. We have few players, server, as I said, and we have done some commercial projects, for example, interactive commercials, also interactive, we are creating in next month interactive music video, commercial projects, short commercial projects, and we are of course looking around, and there is no such good interactive movie, full length or not, as classical movies. No budgets, no concepts how to develop the non-linear story. Non-linear, I mean, with many endings. Yes. So, in my opinion, the content is the driver of whole business or whole this technology. The technology only supports it. it. And many features we have added, we have added only because the story needs them. Yeah.
Of course, yeah. And just one remark, when all the stories starts from scratch, everybody starts to develop own platform and own way how to be interactive. It's maybe it kills the story at some point because the teams need to focus on that. If you have a plan, a power to create a great platform for the producers, for those that have great stories, maybe that should be something interesting, and your input also for the.
Of course, we are aware of it, and it's the final aim for us. Of course.
Just a little question. As you said, the content was the main priority. And can you remind me what is lucid dreaming?
What is lucid dreaming?
Yeah.
Lucid dreaming is the state of mind when we can control dreams. So we have a consciousness during dreaming.
Okay.
Thank you.